Hi, I'm Danny Glover, and you're watching Joburg Today.
The City of Johannesburg demolished an illegal business structure last week in Northcliffe and Cyrildene. An illegal structure in Brixton is still on the cards. The city says the demolitions follow numerous efforts made to give property owners the opportunity to amend their property to comply with the law. Court orders in the past were never implemented, and as a result, property owners are not taking these court orders seriously. There are in total 28 court orders in favor of demolitions. The city says the days of lawlessness are over, and they will implement these court orders to ensure the rule of law is met.
As a City of Johannesburg, we've got this project called Buya Mthetho, Bring Back the Rule of Law. So we've been engaging with various developers and the residents to tell them that we need them to comply with our processes, with our stop order notices that we issue for illegal buildings and everything. Some of the demolition that we've decided to take on are court orders that the court gave for the city to allow us to demolish when these owners do not take the necessary steps to have them demolished. So we have about 28 of these court orders that we have in our cell that talks to demolition, but we've got 54 court orders where people have not complied with our processes. So we've taken this stand because we've allowed enough time to engage and ask them to do the right thing. Some of these court orders date back to 2009, 2006, others 2017, so they've not been touched. So we then took a stand and said that we'll start now executing on these court orders because they quite of a lot of things involved, even our attorneys that were on board. We are saying to them, you cannot just go and get a court order and that's the end of it. You must get a court order and execute. That's the mandate that you get from the city. So we've taken a stand to say that we are now effecting these court orders. That's why we've started with the one in Northcliffe, where we've given the owner an opportunity. And to our amazement, you can see why people are not even respecting our rules. When we went as a team the week before to tell them that we'll be coming to demolish, they said, come, I'm waiting for you. And when we came in there, then they started to do other stuff with people that they are bringing on these properties to try and prevent us to go ahead with the demolition. And we, fortunately for us, were able to proceed with the demolition. And as well, then we had to, again, with these challenges, because remember, with demolition, it's not simply just demolition. We must bring the sheriffs on board and bring every department to assist us in this process of demolition. So we are eventually able to go to Cyrildene as well, because it's another big area where there's been a lot of illegalities. A lot of illegalities. We've been talking to the communities out there to say that please deal with this illegal, but they are failing to do so. So we're able to go to Cyrildene as well to conduct another demolition there. And what's good about that, after the demolition, the owner starting to realize that they were in the wrong and they're willing to even comply going forward. And we're hoping that even the others will see that as a City of Johannesburg, we are serious of bringing back the rule of law. What constitutes legal structure is a variety of issues. As a Department of Development Planning, we are responsible in the main in approval of plans. That's one of the processes that we have. Again, we've got conferring of rights, whether this property is used as a church, whether this property is used as a business. So we do in the main on those two things. So the illegalities come when the developer or the owner build that property or extend that property or change the make of that property without having submitted plans into the department. So they are supposed to submit plans and we approve those plans. So that's the portion of the, so most of them start building even without submitting those plans. So that's an illegal property. However, we don't just go to demolition first. We then, because of our building inspector that goes out every day to check on these properties in various areas. When they get to that property, they tell the owner to comply. They request for building plans. If they don't produce, they tell them, come to the department and apply. But we found that many of them ignore coming to the department. They simply just proceed or they don't do whatever they're supposed to be doing. So there's another illegality that comes into place because as much as this was an illegal first, but to give an opportunity to say build, and people do not comply, and then we had to go to court and get this. That was then these demolitions are quite so expensive, and with what we have done now, we are saying to those who we know that they've got court orders against them, we're giving them an opportunity to demolish, because if we have to continue in this format of demolition, we then have to recover the cost, because these demolitions are very expensive for the city. With the challenges that we have, when we needed to concentrate in other developments, but we're just spending money on people to comply. But the next step is for us now to move on and try and collect costs of this demolition from these owners of these properties.